Ken.
Ya, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon.
Waalaikumsalam and good afternoon.
Waalaikumsalam. Good
Salam and good
afternoon,
afternoon.
Chairperson.
Okay, I am glad to welcome all members to the third meeting of the Dalit Golf Club. Hopefully everyone is in good health. I know you're all very busy and it is difficult to take time away from your daily tasks. So I really appreciate you all attending this meeting. As you all know, the purpose of today's meeting is to discuss the 2021 Charity Golf Tournament which we had on 16 September 2021. Before we proceed, do we have any apologies for absence? Will the Secretary, Ms. Nabila, take the role?
Yes, Mr. Chairperson. All members are present. I took roll as they arrived and checked them with my list.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Bella. Well, since all members are present, Ms. Nabila will read the meeting agendas and establish that a quorum is present for the committee meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. The agenda for today's meeting are as follows. First, early bird discount. Second, MC selection. Third, food and refreshment. Fourth, fundraising. Fifth, collection of donation. Finally, scoring and regulation. All present are entitled to vote at this meeting. Accordingly, Mr. Chairperson, a quorum is present.
All right, great. Okay, so on the basis of the Secretary's report, the meeting is duly convened. The polls for each matter voted on at this meeting will open when all the proposals have been presented and will close immediately prior to adjournment. And now we will conduct our meeting as set forth in the notice of the meeting. In conduct to an orderly meeting and give all members an opportunity to participate, we will follow the procedures in the program. Okay, during the conduct of the meeting, questions and comments from the floor should pertain only to the agenda. Okay, I ask that anyone wishing to speak or raise a question, please raise your hand. And one more thing, please put your phone in silent mode. Will the meeting please come to order now?
Yes,
Okay.
Mr. Chairperson.
Okay, Mr.
Okay,
Chairperson.
right.
Mr. President.
Okay. So, moving on, can we have the secretary read the minutes of the last meeting?
Okay, Mr. Chairperson, I have emailed the minute of the last meeting to each member 2 days ago and requested that they print out the minutes for this meeting. I believe everyone has the minutes with them.
Oh, okay, great. So, are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? If not,
Yes, I would
Yes.
like to highlight the live meeting on 12 June. For the venue, it was decided by the majority that the charity golf tournament will be held at Dalit Bay Golf and Country Club Kota Kinabalu, Sabah. The majority also unanimously agreed for the charity to be held on Thursday, September 16, 2021 at 7 a.m.
Yeah, we agree.
All right. Okay, we agree on that.
Okay then. All right, thank you. So, is there any other issues besides the venue?
Yes, Mr. Chairperson, there is a correction to the name of the member in the previous meeting. For Madam Almunira, it's Almunira bin Alam, not bin Alam. They mistakenly misspelled her name.
Wow, you're so alert.
Thank you,
Yeah.
I'll make the necessary correction.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Nabila. Okay, can someone propose the previous meeting to be a true record?
Yeah. I propose the minute to be passed as the true record for meeting
All right,
today.
then. Okay, thank you, Mr. Faisal. Okay, now, can we have our treasurer, Mr. Hafiz, to read the balance in our account, please? Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Chairperson. As to date, we have about 250,000 for the charity itself. I've already separated the budget for our operation and capital expenditures for fiscal year 2021, FY 2021. Here are the account details for your reference, Mr. Chairperson. As for the charity event, this golf tournament, I'm planning to at least manage to collect around $500,000, about 500,000 ringgit, based on your approval, of course. This sum of money for the donations, goodies, prizes, and other promotional items. As mentioned in the previous meeting, there are thank you gifts to the golf course staff. I managed to find the lowest vendor price for each of the gifts, and surprisingly, we managed to get a 3% discount for all of it, and all the gifts came from one single company. Actually, the cost for the gift itself are 35,000 ringgit. As for the price, for the golf tournament, Maybank, our main sponsor, is willing to sponsor the whole in one price, a semi-D house at Sutra Harbour, which will cost around 800,000 ringgit. Other co-sponsors are willing to give 10,000 ringgit each for the novelty prize. But Mr. Chairperson, before the tournament starts, some local traditional dancer will entertain all the participants, and the opening speech will be given by Chief Minister of Sabah, Datuk Seri Panglima Haji G bin Haji Noor.
Okay, very good, Mr. Hafiz. Thank you very much. Are there any corrections to the treasurer report? Anyone? If not, they will stand approved.
Mr. Chairperson, I'm sorry. I would like to highlight the price. The treasury report said 35,000 for the gift, and how about the cost for the main prize?
Okay, Mr. Faizal, I think you seem be distracted. Actually, 35,000 is for the thank you gift for the golf course staff. And about the main prize, we decide to get sponsor from my bank and a few companies, as we agreed before from the previous meeting. Okay, so we only decide the price amount for novelties and all in one. How about the rest, Mr. Faizal?
Okay, let me explain you a little bit details. Basically, the winner of this tournament is divided into two sides, or I mean is two category, gross and net category. I suggest that we pick 15 winner for each category. For novelties winner, I suggest that one winner for each category, included the longest drive and nearest to the pin. So we can separate the winner and more player can get the prize.
Okay, good, Mr. Faizal. I'm impressed with your knowledge in golf, since you are a player yourself, right?
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. Actually, I'm just an amateur player, and I'm always specific in setting up event like this. So I'm trying my best working together with this committee to achieve our goals and objective.
No, it's okay. So, anything else to add? Anyone?
No, Mr. Chairperson, I propose we continue for our matter arising.
Okay then. So, let's move on. Any matters arising? Anyone?
Yes, Mr. Chairperson, during the last meeting, Mr. Faizal has proposed thank you gift for the golf course staff and players. So, Mr. Faizal, do you have any suggestion for the proposal?
Okay, regarding this matter, I suggest we give a certificate and plaque as a thank you gift for golfer and a donor who participate in this our tournament. As we mentioned at the last minute regarding the item in the thank you gift packaging for the players, we suggest that we give item like tournament t-shirt, golf ball, bread, and drinks. I hope the treasurer had the detailed price on it.
Okay, here. Based on our detailed calculation, all the gift and prizes included in the 35,000 ringgit that we agree on in the matter of financial issue. We managed to find the cheapest but quality item for the event itself. We have arranged it and already, and it's enough for our golfers and non-golfers on the event. I've already submitted this proposal earlier to the financial committee to endorse the budget. Mr. Chairperson, do you get the notice from the financial committee?
Yeah, I did. All right. So I think that's okay. I think that's reasonable and great, right? Anyone? So any objection?
No, Mr. Chairperson.
No, Mr. Chairperson.
Okay, so I guess the matter is resolved then. So any other matters?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairperson, to interrupting, but I
Okay.
have to ask something to reconfirm.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay, regarding to the gift for players, how many exactly do we need to prepare? I know we estimate that 120 players will be joining, but what if there are more than 120 players? We need to be more specific on the numbers and we need to be prepared for the gift. I agree with Madam Almunira. We need a specific number of players that will be joining this tournament. If there are too many players, it will cost more. But if we don't have enough gifts, this will have a bad impact on our club reputation.
Exactly. I agree with Ms. Adila and Madam Almunira. Any suggestion from all of you?
All right. Normally, the full package for the charity tournament is 120 packs. So means we have a 30 flight and it's not included for non-golfer. So I suggest that we open for 120 player only for this charity tournament.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Faisal. So I believe we will proceed with the amount of players suggested. And now let us continue to our main agenda, okay? So I believe each of you has received the agenda, but before we proceed, is there any objection? Any objection? If there is no objection, the agenda will stand approved as read.
I second the motion, Mr. Chairperson.
Me too.
Okay, right, thank you. So now the meeting will proceed to the agenda. Regarding the first agenda, early bird discount, do we have a decision on this matter?
Mr. Chairperson, I suggest that we give a 20% discount for 50 early bird participation and the rest are normal price.
So is there a second?
Yes, Mr. Chairperson, I agree with the Ms. Adila opinions, and for giving to 20% discount to 50 early birds. So I second the motion.
So, okay, if there is no other or further discussion, the meeting will now proceed to the second item on the agenda concerning the MC selection. So any suggestion on the selection?
Mr. Chairperson,
Yes.
in the previous meeting, Ms. Adila suggested we hire Dato' AC Miza for the MC, but unfortunately, it's not available on that day. Since it's not available, I've decided to ask R20, local comedian, since he is Sabahan, if he is available. And for your information, Alhamdulillah, he is willing to be our MC on that day. He will be paid 5,000 ringgit for the whole event after negotiation.
Okay, Alhamdulillah, hopefully, inshallah. So, okay, is there a second on the motion?
All right, Mr. Chairperson, I agree and second the motion.
Okay. So we are done with the MC then. What about food and beverages? Anything else to add or suggest? Anyone from the board?
Okay, Mr. Chairperson, for the food and beverages, it will cost around 50,000 ringgit. This include breakfast, lunch, and probably some mineral water or 100 plus for the intercourse session during the gameplay.
Okay. But one more thing, let us not forget, this is a charity event. So how about the donation?
Well, Mr. Chairperson, I suggest that we organize a car boot sale to increase the club's income and for donation itself. Maybe 50% from the total donation collected. We will use it for the club's expenses for next fiscal year.
That sounds interesting and very good idea, Miss Nabila. I agree with you.
Thank you.
Alright. Actually, let me interrupt something idea here. Actually, it's a good idea, but we have to think about the place and our strengths because our tournament took almost a day. So for me, in terms of raising fund, is a good option. But maybe I think we will do another date on it.
Yes, I'm agree with your opinion, Mr. Faizal. How about if we organize the event separately for our tournament? And maybe we can start the events early 1 week before the tournament.
Good idea, Mr. Faizal. I agree with you.
Thank you.
I agree with the both of them. So is there a second?
I second the motion, sir.
Okay, all right then. So it is resolved. Okay, now what about the collections for donations?
As for the donation, part of the fees for the gifts, prizes, MC and dancers paid. The rest, about 70% from the balance, it will go for the donation as well as half of the car boot sale as mentioned before this.
Okay. So thank you for the clarification, Mr. Treasurer. So is there any objection?
I second the motion, Mr. Chairperson.
So it is resolved then. Okay, now to the final agenda, scoring and regulations. Any decision from the board members?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairperson.
Yes.
I propose that we use our own scoring and regulation for this tournament because I think it will make golf tournament different and more interesting.
All right. I agree with you, Mr. Munira. Okay. About this matter, I suggest that all score of the day are calculated using our automatic scoring system. We are currently having no issue about it. Regarding the rule and regulation, we can refer to RNA, is stand for Royal and Ancient Golf Club of first golf course in the world at St. Andrew Course, and United States Golf Association rules. Besides that, we have our own local rules. I hope there is no problem about this because all players are registered under Malaysian Golf Association, MGA, and familiar with the rules.
I agree with Mr. Faizal as the standard scoring system is more accurate and always being used for calculating a score in golf tournament.
Okay, I think we better listen to Mr. Faizal's suggestion. Okay.
Yeah.
So right. Since there is no further business to come before the meeting and all agendas have been discussed, that concludes the formal part of our meeting. Okay, our next item is about the date, time, and venue for the next meeting. Okay, so Ms. Nabila, please.
Yes, Mr. Chairperson. For our next meeting, it will be on 11 July 2021, Sunday, 2 p.m. at the conference room. I will send a notice if there are any changes.
Okay, great. So now we are ready to discuss on any other business. Does anyone have any proposals?
Yes, Mr. Chairperson. Do we need to double check for the facilities like the buggies?
Yeah, right. So who is in charge of the facility? How are the buggies? Are the batteries still running? The tires maybe? Are they in good condition? We sure don't want anything bad to affect our reputation since VVIPs are coming to this event. Yeah?
double-check it one day before the event. Yesterday, I confirmed with the maintenance team all the buggies are in good shape.
All right. Okay, so how about the stage and PA system? Do we need to run a full rehearsal before the main event takes place?
Sure, Mr. Sure,
Okay.
Mr. Chairperson. We'll conduct a full rehearsal at least 5 days before the main event. The stage and all the equipment will be set up on September 10, according to Mr. Apis.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
On September 10, the equipment will be arrived here and will be set up by the vendor itself.
Right. One more thing. Do we need a sound engineer for the system to run smoothly? We have a sound engineer.
Madam Almunira can definitely do it, sir, since she comes from an event business family background.
Yes, sure, I can, inshallah.
Okay, good enough. Okay, so we're sure to have save a lot here, okay, on the money and expenses, of course. Okay, all right. So thank you, Miss Nabila. So is there any other further discussion before I hear a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chairperson, since there are so many activities to be completed before our event date, can I send a notice about the next meeting to the members later?
Yeah, sure. Yes, please.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Chairperson, I propose the meeting to be adjourned.
Okay, any seconder?
I second the motion.
Okay, so the meeting is adjourned. If there is anything else to add, then I think we'll wrap this up. So I would like to thank you all for attending the meeting and giving full commitment. Okay, so have a nice day, everyone. Stay safe.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
Right,
Chairperson.
thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.